It's Bean, Study Way TV.
Sturdy Way Ice in the building.
And it's Tails, man. We Sturdy Way TV.
You know, top of the sturdy and all that. Got my brother here today. You know, Kayvon Reed, for those who don't know. What's up, bro?
What's good, bro? How you? Pleasure being here. You know, it's an honor being here. Sturdy Way TV.
Nah, facts. So, just to jump it off, episode 2, give us a little backstory on what you got going on and what you bringing to the table today, bro.
So right now, I'm just giving full-blown cannabis experience, cannabis education, cannabis revolution. That's really what my focus is on. You know, just elevating our community in the cannabis in the cannabis industry.
Okay.
So, tell the people where you from, man.
I'm straight out of Westchester, Tuckahoe, Yonkers, Mount Vernon,
The
uptown Bronx. You know, I'm everywhere. I ain't gonna hold you.
Copy. Give us some background, your ethnicity.
Ethnicity, alright, cool. You know, I'm West Indian. Mom's on Grenada side. My pops is Jamaican.
Yadma.
Yeah.
So,
What?
heavy cannabis over there.
no real island thing, you know.
Copy.
Okay. So I noticed you kind of like went on tour with the whole hemp industry and all of that.
Word, for sure.
Give us some feedback on what led to your strive and doing that.
So, really coming with the hemp, at the end of the day, it's part of cannabis. So, and this cannabis shit been part of my whole life. So, when I'm looking and I'm doing research and I'm studying, I'm seeing okay, they got this hemp, legalization with America and stuff like that. But weed ain't legal. So I'm
right.
What's the difference? You feel me? So I just started diving into this hemp shit, right? And I'm seeing this shit could build 50,000 different products. I'm like, word? I don't know about that shit.
Right, yeah.
For real. So I just started going down the rabbit hole. And I'm like, all right, cool. I need to know how to do this. I need to know how to operate around this thing. And then, I'm trying to figure out how I could get some hemp, but nobody trying to give me hemp. I'm getting bullshit, CBD, whatever.
So it's a difference between hemp and CBD?
Yeah, so get into that. What's the difference between...
Alright, so hemp and CBD.
Yeah, what is hemp?
Hemp is the full flower. That's the industrial use cannabis variety. And then CBD is a broad spectrum of it. So it's just like one cannabinoid or one, chemical molecule that's introduced to the flower. So you're not getting the full spectrum of it. You're just getting one cannabinoid of it.
So it's safe to say that the THC levels differ between hemp, CBD, and marijuana.
Yeah, for sure. So marijuana got, over 3% THC. Hemp on a legal status is below 0.3% THC.
What? So what you smoking for?
Right. Medicinal effects, it got other different effects.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Healthy effects?
Yeah, like what?
Healthy
Yeah.
effects. You got inflammatory, anti-inflammatory. If you're not eating, it betters your appetite. If you got migraines, it's going to reduce all of that inflammation. So there's different varieties of what the plant do.
It sounds like it just make you feel good.
Exactly. That's the whole point. When we look at it and we're really checking it, we got something in our whole body, everybody. We got an endocannabinoid system, right? This endocannabinoid system in our brain is what makes us balance. It's what keeps us homeostasis, right?
Okay.
So tell me how there's something called an endocannabinoid system and this marijuana plant got cannabinoids and it go hand in hand. You feel me? So
That's deep.
That's deep.
They do say, weed come from there.
God's plan, that shit really God's plan.
Okay.
Yo, so, I know you, we went to school together, and
Right.
we were on the same basketball team. What made you how did you get in the room?
I feel really just coming from West Indian background, all of this growing, or being in the garden, working with the land, working with my hands, always been a part of my life. My grandma, my heart, that's the one who raised me.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm in Tuckahoe. They was like, nah, we gotta keep him out of town. We gotta keep him out.
Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to Tuckahoe.
Shout out Tuckahoe. You know what it is. It's the towns, for real. It's right there in the middle. it's like that little part in Westchester that's like.
I ain't gonna front. I used to come to Tuckahoe and destroy y'all on that court.
Definitely didn't. I don't know.
These is facts, bro.
Ask Dwayne. Ask Dwayne. He'll tell you.
We can ask, yo, so I probably know, but I know.
Jay will tell you too.
Who, Webb? Jamal Webb?
Yeah, he'll tell you.
Yeah, but he's older than
Yeah, he's
us.
old.
He's old
He's
enough.
used
Oh, so
to
he was schooling him.
Nah, he wasn't schooling.
He tried to slide it in.
Shout out to Webb, man.
Yeah,
You know,
we ain't get
that's the
away
bro.
with it, but like literally, like I used to go to that park and destroy. Yeah, I had like one good kid. His name was like Angelo or something. He was pretty decent.
Angelo's alright. We got Lowell. You know, we got Shaq. We got a couple good players out there.
Yeah. Alright, but get back to
Right. You know, back to the. So what we talking about right now? Yeah.
How did you get into the growing?
Yeah, so I'm around my grandma all the time. She always got plants, you feel me? So even when people come over, they always seeing a whole bunch of plants in the crib. Mm-hmm. So from there, I'm like, yo, that shit really just, I guess I got the green thumb. I guess she passed it on, you know?
Okay. So once you got situated and made your mind up on you wanted to be a grower, where did you do your growing process at? Like, where was you at when you was doing this?
So it's crazy. Just like, short story short, when I decided to grow, I emptied out all my funds. I decided to relocate to Georgia. So,
okay.
Word, I ain't gonna lie. I just took, a suitcase of clothes, shovel, fork, took my dog.
You took the dog in it?
My dog.
You took the tools with you?
They say a dog's a man's best friend, so you took that risk.
Hit that road,
You hear real Jamaican, he took the shovels and all that.
all of that.
Right.
Yeah, as you
real
should.
for real.
Chase it.
And just went out there.
Chase it.
I leased some land out there. Shout out my OG Wilford. You feel me? Nigga let me. I leased plot like 5 acres of land, and then I just grew on 2 acres.
You grew on 2 acres of land?
I grew on 2 acres of land. So I had different grows. I got myself situated with the state. And the ill part is like, I'm super off grid. I'm sleeping in the tent,
You was farming for real,
you
safe to say.
Really in tune with nature.
Yeah, really in tune with nature. It's all Mother Nature.
I was talking to you when I had called you, and I'm like, yo, he seemed like one of them dudes that
that meditate on the
meditate on the facts. I
got to, it's crazy.
As you should, though. That's what's up, bro.
All of this trauma and all of this PTSD, we gotta figure out, some type of way to
mental
heal.
health is real.
For real. So this mental health thing, like I started looking more into it. I'm like, nah, I gotta take care of myself.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with everything that come with that other side of life. Not that civilian life.
Right.
Sure.
Really have an effect on your mind. So I'm like, nah, some shit gotta give.
Yeah.
Yo,
for sure.
So I did my research and I see your pops was in a situation like he was dealing with marijuana too.
Word.
Dig into that?
Yeah. So my pops did a bid.
Federal, right?
Yeah, federal bid.
Yeah.
Word. Some Fed time, possession, conspiracy to traffic, gun possession, all of that, and that definitely took away some time from us. That shit really exposed me because I'm like 8 when I get exposed to him, being up top, and I'm going to visit him, and that whole situation just opened my eyes up to what's really going on. Mm-hmm. The procedures, getting checked, all of that, strip search, all of that at a young age, and then I'm coming back to Tuckahoe.
Right.
You feel me? So my mind is all over the place. I'm like, yo, you teachers not telling me shit. Like,
yeah, that I need to know.
Word, that I need to know. I'm here trying to get some money. I'm selling candy in the back of the class.
Right.
My mom's getting that call home at a young age, like, yo, like, Kay's selling candy and has, like, a lot of money as a distraction. She's like, yeah, I bought the candy for him.
I know what's going on.
Real wholesale break that down, but with the situation with my pops, him going through that, he did 4 years in the Fed, 8 years of probation after that, word. So it's like, when we look at the whole thing, that shit really had him structuring in a different manner, even building with me as his son. It was like, we can't do certain things.
Right.
We can't go take a trip.
Yeah.
I can't post certain things. You feel me? I gotta take certain things off of online, like when you have those probation hearings and all of that stuff. Like, it was different.
Right.
And that's the part, like, niggas don't know that's what I'm dealing with on the everyday, because they just see K, they see niggas smiling, they see yo, I got my stuff fresh and stuff like that, but they don't know what's going on in my back door.
Right.
So that's really how that was going.
Yeah, for sure. So like I understand, like, you know, you got into the growing, you know, you dumped your funds out, but like what we learned from the good brothers at EYL, right? You have to give something for free before something becomes like lucrative.
Right.
Like when does it start to become like lucrative? When do you start making money from this hemp situation? Like,
So for me, the free part was the education. So I'm giving free education. You know, I'm in the trenches. I'm on the streets. I'm on the pavement. So I'm giving dudes game. Like, all right, cool, yo, we got the bud right now, but yo, just keep mine. This hemp, the CBD. Try to get into the door with this. So I'm telling dudes what's what and how to go about it. You know, I'm building up my curriculum. I'm writing books, trying to just figure this out, and then it start getting lucrative when I'm starting processing. You know, that's when it starts getting different. You know, I'm changing the hemp from the flower into the oils. I'm getting that off. I'm selling hemp face masks during the pandemic. You know, I started selling.
Smart.
Yeah, I was selling hemp face masks. I had orders going over to Nigeria, orders going to Colombia. Yeah, I was doing my thing. For real. Because I'm like, nah, there gotta be something, and I can't depend on nobody, because before the pandemic, I'm working construction, right? Mm-hmm. So I'm doing construction management, and when the pandemic hit, they laid me off ASAP, you know, like in March.
So basically, the pandemic sparked for you to jump in the field.
Right. You know, it re-sparked, I should say.
Re-sparked. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Because I got sparked after college, you know. That's really what threw my spark out, you know, having the background on economics, minor in psychology. Shout out Purchase College, had a bachelor's degree from there.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Purchase College. You know, bachelor's gang. I did economics as well.
Right,
you know.
Right. So, you know, going through that background, I'm like, all right, cool. There's some type of systematic money flow that I kind of get into that I can't depend on nobody else with. You feel me? So I'm like, all right, cool. You know, I'm doing the bud. You know, let me try to get legitimate. Let me LLC. Let me get my, you know, all my paperwork right. And I was just trying to take off from there.
Okay. So fast forwarding a little bit, what changed the shift from the hemp industry to what you doing now? Okay. I noticed you rocking some CWI gear. Let's break that down for the fellas.
Cool. Shout out CWI. That's Cannabis Workforce Initiative. How I get into that is while I'm growing. This is crazy how the whole story runs.
That's nonprofit, by the way, right?
Yeah, that's a nonprofit organization funded by, you know, state allocations. So what happened is while I'm growing, I find out I'm having my son mid grow season. So like I said, I already had in my head, I'm moving down to Georgia. I'm relocating in Georgia, but I'm having my son up in New York. So I come back up to New York, and I got my harvest down there. I got a couple partners that's holding it in storage, and then I get an article written about me being the youngest hemp farmer in Westchester.
Oh, it's lit. That's fire right there.
Word, you feel me? So, you know, shout out the Yonkers Times. They wrote an article about me, and I guess a young brother, not a young brother, but gentleman read the newspaper and reached out like, yo, we want you to be on this cannabis advisory board. So I'll be real with y'all. When I heard the first offer, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm in the feds.
Right.
You know, for real. So I'm like, nah, I'm good. But then I started looking more into it, and I'm seeing the work that they're doing. I'm like, all right, cool, I can work with that. They're doing workforce development. They're doing free education. And I'm like, all right, cool, this might be an opportunity for me to start legitimizing myself and moving forward in my career path, like as a cannabis mogul, you know?
Right.
so, like, yeah, I see it says, like, you hold the title of a Cannabis Initiative Community Engagement Coordinator. Like, what does it comprise of? Like,
right, okay, cool. So that community engagement coordinator, that really come with me, you know, building the bridge with the community and the information that's being provided by my organization. Word. So we making sure that people in the streets, regular people, everyday Joes, could receive that high level education accessibly and for free. You know, that's the ill part. You know, we teaching high level cannabis education for free, and we bringing it to people, everyday people on the streets. You know,
right.
I'm hitting, yeah.
Cause I remember when I got that phone call from you, like, yo, bro, I gotta put you on. It's a lot going on. The cannabis industry. You know, different rules and regulations. Like, get into like the breakdown of like getting that license to grow and all of that stuff.
Word. So, you know, really getting the license, and that's really the number one thing, because that's what changes like your legitimacy. So with that, you got to go through the Office of Cannabis Management, the OCM, and they have the applications that you proceed, and you go through that process. You know, you pay a fee depending on, like, they call this thing social equity.
Okay.
So if you from an affected zip code, or you have any priors dealing with cannabis or whatnot, you might be able to get your fee waived. So you get the fee waived with the application, and then you can have your paperwork go through. But you know, the most important thing, you feel me? Most important thing with the cannabis industry is like you need to make sure you got a good team, making sure you got good attorneys, making sure you got your bookwork good, so good account.
It's deep like that?
Yeah, it's deep like that. It's a business.
Can you get into the cannabis business with a felony?
Oh, of course.
Oh, what?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course, the felony's not gonna stop nobody from getting into the cannabis industry.
Okay.
So I got a question. Being as you grow, like, do you prefer growing outdoor or indoor, and what's the difference if you could get into that?
Me, preferably, I like growing outdoor. You know, I like making sure everything is more organically grown and things of that nature. The difference between outdoor and indoor is indoor, you're gonna have more control. You're gonna be able to regulate the temperature, the humidity.
Really
whatnot.
dictate how that flower gonna
exactly.
blossom.
Right. You know, the outdoor, you're dealing with a little more varieties, a little more, you know, situations. You got the weather, you got bugs, and certain, you know, precautions. But when you're growing outdoor, you getting better tasting bud.
Yeah, I've heard through my own research that that outdoor bud in like parts of like the West Coast pretty strong, and more people out there prefer it grown outdoors rather than, you know, we from New York, you know, it's kind of like a lot of New Yorkers prefer the indoor bud.
And it's
like,
funny because
what's your take on that?
That's like, I feel like that's all like the myths of the market and stuff like that. Because when you look at it, all of these original growers, they grown outdoor. You know, all of those OG growers from Cali, they grown outdoor, and the only reason they had to grow indoor is because they used to have all of the feds and police watching them.
Come snatching and shit, right?
Exactly. So it's not like they want to grow indoor. It's just that they have to.
They made a TV show out of that.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna front. Like, you ever seen Friday?
Yeah, of course.
He's like, man, this ain't indoor. It smoke like outdoor.
Y'all remember that too? Yeah, facts.
You know, well, it's like, you know, that's just a marketing tool. You know, if that's what you got, you're gonna say, yo, this indoor fire, right?
Yeah,
so you know, that's just how the marketing tools. That's just really how it's getting marketed.
Copy.
So how come, like, so basically, like, the climate definitely determines how fire the outdoor gonna be.
Exactly, for sure. You know, it turns into regional. Like, you know, you could have some equatorial grown buds, so that's like by like the equator. That tropical bud, like from like, you know, the Caribbean, South America, Africa, that fruity, tangy bud, things like that.
Yeah.
You don't get that.
That growing shit is serious.
This shit is a science.
You ain't gotta use like hydroponics and that, or is that just for
That's if you want to. You know, that's different. That's just a certain type of growing and stuff. There's so many different ways to grow.
So to get that, like, that color, that rainbow looking, you know, that za look and all of that. Like,
yeah, what's up with the za?
Like, that ain't no outdoor, bro. Like, you can't really. You know?
I feel like, you know, it really come down to the genetics. You know, that the genetics play a good part in the weed too. There's all of these different strains, phenotypes. So making sure you're getting some good genetics that could express whatever you're trying to get. But like I said, with the indoor, you get more control. So you could make the humidity at a certain temperature. So you really expressing the, you know, the features of the flowers and stuff like that. You getting that zod, you getting that purpley, crystally kind of bud. You feel me?
So that's where they get, like, you know, real crazy with the
none of those
the lineage and all that, and all that.
But for sure, you know, that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah. So I was speaking to you earlier, and we was chopping it up. Like, you was talking about you wanted to get into a bunch of things, but like you took me aback when you said weed stock market, like cannabis, like
that's one of the
cannabis stock market.
You know, that's one of the things, like, I got in the works. That's one of the things I'm building in my, you know, my blueprint, looking at the cannabis industry as a stock market, you know, because it is a whole industry. You feel me? And cannabis is a commodity. So
right.
I don't see why there's no reason for that type of commodity not to have its own stock exchange, and every other commodity got a stock exchange.
Okay.
Word.
So, just like you said, you know, it's a industry.
Right.
Gotta be
job
fire.
opportunities other than growing and like tending to the bud are there for, like, you know, people that want to get into the industry that probably don't want to be growers, but, you know, want to profit off of it.
Right. You know, there's plenty of opportunities. There's the processing opportunities with people who are technically savvy, you know, whether they go through like certain trades, if they got plumber, HVAC, they got these transferable skills, they could always enter the cannabis industry.
Right, because they building these big ass
Exactly.
facilities.
Greenhouses and shit.
Yeah, you're gonna need just like how, like, you know, the janitors just as important as the CEO of the company.
Like
everybody
that.
gotta play their
You
part.
know, same way the bank got the security guard, the dispensary needs a security guard. So,
Okay,
you know,
okay.
You got your security license, you could be a cannabis security guard. You feel me? And any facet of any type of business can enter the cannabis industry. Attorney, accountant, a graphic designer.
So y'all gonna have HR and all of that
all
in
of
that
that,
shit.
you know, it's
Okay.
businesses. So
Yeah,
you know,
right.
everything got to make sure it's run accordingly and run properly with systems.
Yeah, so would you open your own dispensary? Oh.
Honestly, I wouldn't open my own dispensary because in my mind that's retail, and from my personal experience, that's all I've really been doing with retail. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, just getting it off. So I don't really see no difference. I don't see no difference between a dispensary
basically
and me.
losing money, basically.
Yeah.
Paying rent,
living the experience that I did my whole life. Like, I'm good off of that.
Yeah, that's how I feel about my clothing line. A couple people like, you should get a storefront. And it's like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can just get it from me personally, and I got an online store. Like,
Right.
I get a storefront, I'm gonna be paying $2,000.
That's another bill.
Yeah,
You don't
exactly.
want that.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like,
so that's interesting.
you know, and it's just that hustler mindset. Like, you know, why am I gonna do the wave? Why am I gonna do what everybody's trending on? You know,
Right,
I'm always
right.
2 steps ahead.
So how do you feel about smoke shops?
The smoke shops, it's a funny game because it's like New York, they legalized weed so long ago. You know, weed got legal like 2 years ago, but the state really wasn't doing much, so it was like free game, that gray area. So it's just it's part of the business, it's part of the way of life. But I don't see people should be going to smoke shops. You know, you don't know what the weed is, the weed not getting tested properly, it's not packaged properly, you know, certain ways and Mylar bags and things of that nature that the package is in is not really optimally healthy for everybody, you know?
Right.
The package.
Yeah, speaking of packaging, you know, you get
So the
you get a
packaging-
fire Mylar bag and then it got some bullshit in it.
Exactly, you know? And even like with the Mylar bags, you know, those gonna start creating a little bit of mold because you got the humidity and the
I was about to ask
moisture,
that.
you know? So it's like good bud, high quality, top cut, always in glass jars, you know?
Okay, yeah, definitely something to take note of.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. So, like, being that you're in this business, just tell us your favorite part about the business. Like, what's your favorite? What do you enjoy most about this business?
My favorite part is really building up this community. Honestly, like building up the cannabis community, bringing people together, making sure everybody getting real opportunities. You know, this plan took away so many opportunities from so many communities. It's like that shit is fire to just reverse the cycle and reverse the process and give people opportunities off of the same vehicle that took that away.
Fire.
Yeah, a lot of people went to jail for it.
Right,
So,
people went to jail, people died from it, you know, families got ripped apart, so it's a crazy thing.
people die. What you mean? People get in that? What you mean?
But you know,
die?
people die from it. People die from all of the drug trades and all of that
Oh, okay,
situation, you know.
gotcha.
Facts.
Is it true if you grow good tomatoes, you can grow good weed?
Yeah, I believe so because it's basically the same process, it's the same nutrients that's needed around, like, you know, the nitrogen, potassium, and phosphate. I really get into the details of the nutrients and the microbes that you need. And so when you look at it, the tomato is the closest plant or vegetation that's close to growing cannabis, you know?
So if we wanted you to mentor us and teaching us how to grow, would you be able to do that? Would you be able to teach us?
Of course. By the time y'all done with me, y'all learn how to grow from seed to shelf.
I heard that, man. Sturdy Way Farms.
Sturdy Way Farms on the lookout.
Be on the lookout.
So have you done any like seminars? I see like you like heavily in the city.
Yeah, so
giving speeches, passing out flyers.
yeah, so it's fire with the new job opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to really like directly build with the community. So I'm doing a lot of the seminars in certain colleges like Lehman College, CUNY on the concourse. There's Medgar Evans that we working with. Different, even we about to start working with WCC soon, and even dealing with a lot of nonprofits or different organizations that we just teaching regular people how to go about dealing with the cannabis.
Right. CWI, is that backed by Cornell, or what do Cornell got to do with that?
So Cornell is the legal education facet of it. You know, there's two entities with CWI. You got the Cornell side and then you got the workforce development side. I'm on the workforce development side.
Okay.
You know?
So you really networking and
right, and really building up that network,
educating and
exactly,
basically growing at the same time as you learning.
Like you
right,
it all, because like it seems like it's a lot of different like parts of the business, and it seems like it's like the educational part, like the business part, and then you got the growing. Like I'm pretty sure there's certain people who just deal with the educational part and the business part, but not the growing part.
Exactly.
It seems like you're doing it
I'm
all.
vertically integrated, and that just comes from my lineage and my background. You know, I got a whole family of entrepreneurs, so I'm always thinking self-made, self-sustainability. So I need to make sure I got all facets of the supply chain.
Okay. What's this card thing that people been talking about? Give us the breakdown on that.
CARD is Conditional Adult Use Recreational Dispensary. That was an opportunity for people who were properly incarcerated to have an opportunity to be able to be prioritized on getting licenses. So it's a conditional license.
Okay.
Right.
So it gives people that was incarcerated.
Yeah, that prioritization on the list to get the licenses. But I want y'all to understand too, that's just conditional. So that's not meaning like that license is gonna be permanent.
Yeah,
right.
Like a conditional license.
Yeah, conditional license, the first round, pilot test and see how things is going.
Okay.
So like, if you could do one thing like amongst your community and amongst like other like urban communities, like if you could like hold the course, like what would be the main things that you would teach about the cannabis business?
If I could teach one thing,
vocal points.
Yeah.
It don't gotta be, it could be 3 things.
Yeah, like what is one thing or 3 things that like
number one
people
thing,
don't really know until like they hear it from you, like.
Okay, so the number one thing would really be the soil, like soil science, teaching everybody about the foundation of the ground and the soil itself, because with that, they could do anything with that. You know, that ain't something that's just gonna stick with weed or cannabis. You could do that for vegetables, you could do that for fruit, even with construction, you doing,
that's a fact.
you doing excavation, foundation
your
is
foundation,
key for everything.
facts.
So learning how to operate with the ground, that's number one. Number 2, I would go from sourcing different type of strains, understanding the different variations of strains, what's valuable, what's not, and then 3, really getting down to the law literacy, understanding how to operate within the law and what's legal and what's not.
That's key right there.
Yeah, for sure. And you will also want to understand the jargon, like cannabis business, because
right.
I feel like in every field there's like always like a different type of jargon, and if you don't understand what's going on and what's being said or the definitions, you won't understand it also.
Right.
I feel like jargon, like understanding like the cannabis jargon would be key.
Yeah, making sure like the terminology, because it's really like the language barrier that got us on the back end of this cannabis industry. We talking about people saying, oh, they manufacturing cannabis, and that just means you breaking down bud.
Right.
It's like they start, overcomplicating the words and the processes.
Got put in layman's terms.
Exactly. Got put in layman's terms. Where we come from is not. We don't gotta overcomplicate things. We simplify things. We go through a simple thought process like A to B. So we ain't really trying to deal with all of that extra shit. So for me, I'm just bringing that down to layman terms, making sure that any average person is gonna understand that a trichome is just simply you know, the hairs on the plant, the hairs on the flower. You feel me? But you understand, like,
Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I heard Tricon. I'm thinking about a camera with 3 heads.
Right?
Yeah. I done had to break down meanings to the bros a couple of times. You know.
I can't front. Right. He know what he know. Like
Yeah.
If I want to know anything about cannabis, I call bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
You high right now, bro?
Yeah, I'm a little. Chill out, love. Gotta get, gotta get into my.
I'm saying,
You
know
came in
what
here
a
like
Tricon was,
like cool runnings and all that.
Nah.
You ain't know what a Tricon was though.
Well, before you said that,
Yeah.
I done broke down what a trichome is to you and Ratchet before, bro. I mean, shout out to the bro.
All right, so I just want to backtrack real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The soil.
Right.
How can you tell good soil from bad soil?
So good soil gonna have living microbes. You know, you're gonna have different type of healthy bugs or different type of
Healthy bugs. What's healthy
bugs?
bugs?
Bugs that's taking care of the soil, that's breaking down, bacteria or breaking down food and turning that into mycelium or breaking that down to compost and things of that nature.
So is a ladybug a healthy?
Yeah, actually.
Word?
Yeah.
You talking
What
about
about a roach?
mycelium, bro? What's mycelium?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, I get it. I'm just such a nerd at it. That shit just go over my head.
What's
I'm
that
saying
cartoon with the organs and shit?
I don't know, bro.
But it's definitely not mycelium, you think?
Nah, nigga name sound like mycelium or some shit.
Only scientific show I remember was Bill Nye, the science guy.
Nah, this was like one of them shits. They was like organs and shit. Organ.
Went on Cartoon Network.
I don't know what network that shit was on, bro.
I-
We'll find that shit in the archives.
Osmosis Jones.
Yeah, Osmosis Jones. Yeah, he was like, remember that shit, bro? Like,
Yeah. So as far as like buying land to grow, cannabis on, is that hard? Like, is that a
Nah, it really depend on what you trying to grow and like how you trying to grow it. If you trying to do an indoor grow, you're gonna have to get a facility and make sure that there's things already on the property. If your money's good, you build up a facility from scratch, or you could just lease some land out. There's a lot of land out there. Land ain't really hard to get. You get a plot of land, you get yourself situated, you excavate it, you'll be alright.
Oh yeah.
Word.
I ain't never even knew you could do that. That's fine.
so everything got to be sturdy, basically. Is what you saying?
Everything gotta be sturdy from under the ground up.
So what you gotta do? Like stick a thermometer in there to test.
Yeah, they gotta
stuff
test the
like that?
soil and
You
all
gotta
that.
test the soil.
Facts.
Making sure that the soil is good. Making sure there ain't no chemicals, because the way a lot of these farmers, in the industry, the FDA, whatever they prescribing to the farmers to use, they got all of these pesticides in it.
Mhm.
You see all of them chemicals, and the chemicals going into the ground. So sometimes the ground might not be able to use. They might have too much chemicals in it. So you got to make sure like all of that is not in it.
Copy. So you wouldn't want to start your own strain?
Yeah, I thought about it. I've definitely been pheno hunting, seeing what's going on.
What would you name it?
What would I name it? Damn, I don't know. I got a couple
You gotta think of
names.
that,
Yeah,
though.
I gotta think of that.
I think you should, man. I will look forward to that.
Word, I appreciate that. We're gonna have something in the works coming up soon.
Facts.
Sure. That's right.
So yeah, we on Sturdy Way TV.
Word.
I mean, you know what's going on. Let's talk about, aside from like the cannabis stuff, but like let's talk about like what sturdy mean to you. You've been around us a lot.
Right.
This your first time, meeting a bro right here. But like you kind of came up under like that
Right.
sturdy tutelage, and
I
give us
definitely
some background on.
From sturdy, damn, this bring me back to the purchase days.
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Sturdy means structured. It mean organized. It mean you're not folding. If you stand for something, you stand for that. Right, wrong, or indifferent, you just standing on your principles, because you're not letting the environment conduct you. You conducting the environment.
Right.
That's what sturdy mean for me, for sure. I'll say even like coming into purchase on freshman year, having y'all as my older bros, y'all put me under the wing. Like, all right, cool. We see Youngblood, like he got his head on. Let me just give
Trying to
him
make that
some
sound
pointers.
like, oh, if he said
Nah,
young blood.
I was the OG, so I take that with open arms.
Right.
He met Ice before me. Like I think.
Yeah, I met just before him. But
it's like you already know him.
I already know y'all, because we coming from Westchester. I'm seeing like the whole Tucker Holt Greenberg connection is like I'm knowing y'all from Woodlands.
Right.
You know, I'm playing sports with y'all young bros and shit like that. So even me as a person, niggas know me. Mm-hmm. You know, niggas know that the tall dark skinned nigga from Tuckahoe, he ain't nothing to play with. Right? You know, the white boys getting folded, but that's
right.
That's on his own over there.
Yeah.
You know, so just seeing how all of that goes, seeing like the heritage of the burg and stuff like that. Now I'm connecting the dots. I'm seeing where they're getting it from. Yeah. You know, so seeing the source of the sturdy, I'm like, all right, cool, that's fire. And it's like, you know, iron sharpen iron at the end of the day.
Yeah, this shit basic cable, bro.
Yeah. I got a question for you. So, like, you know him, bro. You know what I mean? Before me, like, you know, everybody know bro's a bug out, but he's smart. You know what I'm saying? He has a way of instilling sturdiness to the people who's around him. You know what I'm saying? And then you meet me. Like, I'm also, like, you know, I wasn't out.
Right, you laid back and chill.
Like, cool. Like, I ain't gonna wild out.
Right. You got more jokes. It's like,
you done seen us get into it in practice before, right, so he is a bug out.
I see all sides.
Yeah.
All sides. You know, for me, it was like, you know, me connecting with Just. It was just on like we watching how us conducting each other. You feel me? Like, all right, bro, sharp. You know, he paying attention. We both like defense on basketball, so the way I'm coming into this is I'm playing against Dave. You feel me? I'm a freshman. I'm playing behind Dave Horton.
Shout out Dave.
Definitely shout out to bro Dave Horton.
Word, on the power forward, on the number 4. And, you know, Just is the only nigga that Dave is kryptonite. You feel me? So I'm getting pointers like, yo, bro, like, how you blocking that? Or how you stealing the ball and shit like that? So we chopping it up and then just building, you know? So it's funny like that.
So how did it feel getting cooked by me in practice? Like, how did it
bro,
feel?
You're the only lefty I know to ever only go left. Spin right, go left. Like, they got one move and pray go in all the time.
No, not pray. You know what I'm saying? But so let's talk sports. Being that you play basketball, you up and you watching playoffs, right?
Yeah, I'm seeing what's going on here and there.
Who you got taking it this year?
I ain't gonna lie, it's really looking like the Warriors really might come away with it.
Hold on, before you wow.
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah, did you not watch the game last night?
All right, it's basketball.
I'm gonna come clean. Like
one game to think everything.
Even if the Warriors come, I don't know if one of them got Warriors.
The Warriors is deflated right now, bro.
I don't have the Warriors beating the Nuggets.
Right.
This one.
Okay.
Coming out of the West, even if they do beat the Lakers, but they're not gonna beat Boston. They're not beating Boston, bro.
All right.
Jason Tatum.
Yeah. See, now we
Bryant.
talking basketball. We either could talk, you know, emotional sports or the business of the game. You know, we really getting sturdy with it. You know, all of this shit is entertainment. You know, owners got to get paid.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, we looking. Let's see what the script is this year. You know, let's see what the scenario.
What you trying to say?
I ain't jacking that script shit, bro.
What you trying to say? Like that is.
I don't know.
I
feel like it's a little predetermined. You know, there's some of the advantages that some other people might get.
So you're a conspiracy theory kind of guy.
A lot of conspiracies been right.
Farmer, conspiracist.
Yeah,
what y'all? Yeah.
Ex-baller.
I got 100 push-ups that the Lakers beat Golden State.
100 push-ups that Lakers beat Golden State.
Yeah,
that's word. And I'll post it and I'll tag it.
Yeah.
I'm tagging all of y'all plus the sturdy weight team. Y'all see it.
Okay.
Don't worry,
for sure.
You're about to see K getting real brolic.
And for the people, like, let them know, like, you was a part of the best purchase team in purchase history.
Best purchase team ever to ever go.
Let's talk about that.
Let's really talk about it.
I used to love that.
You know. I'm coming in. This is my freshman year. I'm coming from, you know.
Tell them how you got your name, K Blood, man.
Right? Yeah.
What's going on, man?
K Blood.
Tell them
No
give you your name.
affiliation. It's just, you know, when I'm on the court, it's just I'm giving my all, blood, sweat, and tears.
Facts.
You know, he going blood on him, like that's where he come from. But no gang affiliation. You feel me? Everybody always get that misconstrued.
Yeah.
I stand on my own 10.
Right.
You know, but that purchase year was a special year. You know, we lost against 2 teams. You know, and the team we lost against we lost against them twice. So we running through the competition. We beating people by 30, 40. You know.
There ain't no L's to your Shiva on my jacket.
Right. You know, but after that, I ain't gonna lie, that yeshiva team, they started recruiting something serious.
I ain't gonna front. They was always just like back cutting and everything.
Like when you came, that was not the yeshiva I know.
Yeah, you know the yeshiva where like I only play the first half and I don't play the rest of the game.
Playing time.
Yeah, I ain't gonna front though. Like I ain't gonna front. Like they had a real squad. So like, when it was us, it was only
bro.
It was just you, one other person, and then y'all big got hurt.
Our point guard is 6'7". Our shooting guard is 6'3".
Yeah, I had a squad.
You know, just
I ain't gonna front. I cooked a couple of them though. Ryan.
You took them individually. Yeah.
No. In high school.
Oh, in high school.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Right.
Freshman, you know. From freshman, and I went to varsity, so when they were still JV
type shit.
There's levels and differences. Don't ever forget that.
Of course. I never forget. You got any like chips in high school?
I ain't got no chips, but
I was
Old City though.
That's in high school. I'm part of the only undefeated team in Tuckahoe, 25-0 state championship. I got 2 state rings, football and basketball.
That's right.
I've always been a dual sport.
I used to destroy Tuckahoe though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. I know you older than me, right? Yeah. My era know me.
Right. Shout out to your era.
That park is legendary though.
That park is legendary. Main Street Park. Y'all know what it is. Everybody from Westchester, from the Bronx, been to that Tuckahoe Park on Main Street.
Yeah, that park was legendary.
Yeah,
bro.
that's a fact.
I love that park, bro. I used to have the jerseys like. We
used to have. We had the
double rims.
Yeah, we had.
I hated them double rims.
Home field advantage, but yeah, we used to have the what was it? The summer league tournaments and stuff like that.
Sure.
We had in different towns from Westchester pull up.
Yeah,
so it always used to be lit. It's always a good vibe. That's home base. Like you say, everything is structured. Everything is sturdy. Yeah, here and there. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because when I ain't gonna front when I played in it, they had Yonkers team, they had us. They might have had a Mount Vernon team like that. That league was lit.
That shit was fire.
I put it through somebody's legs in that league.
What, the nutmeg joint?
Man, it might have been against Tuckahoe. I ain't
See, always with this.
Tuckahoe used to wear the yellow shirts?
I don't know, because I played in a couple years. No, but the jerseys.
Jerseys be different colors.
Yeah.
I got to ask Dwayne, he was there.
I feel like they was gold or something.
Yeah, probably.
I think we might have had gold ones one year, yellow ones one year.
Yeah.
For sure, but.
Yeah, Tails definitely used to get goofy in that league.
Yeah, for sure. So I was like, I used to destroy it. For real. But other than that, so other than the cannabis situation, what other endeavors you got going on? What are you looking forward to getting going on?
A lot of it really be like, I'll keep it gangster with you. My mind really is just all into the cannabis industry, but different factors of the cannabis industry. That's where things start getting more layered because I'm looking at it from a vertically integrated standpoint. So there's so many different branches out from what I'm doing, but it all gotta relate to what I really got going on, what my legacy trying to stand for. My thought process. I'm trying to take care of my son's grandkids right now.
So everything gotta correlate with the goal,
refill,
the major goal.
Entire cannabis,
right?
Everything gotta correlate to what I'm doing.
And Refill is your brand?
Yeah, Refill is my own brand that I founded since 2018.
You got a page for it?
Yeah, I got a page for it.
Alright, shout out that page.
Yeah, shout out Refill, but you know what it is? I'm under contract. You feel what I'm saying? Let's keep it gangster. I'm under contract. Okay. So you throw certain things on the back burner, let that sit, and then you take care of other ventures.
Right.
The cup always filling up.
Oh, okay.
What's the process of turning the plant into oil?
Okay. So that's processing. That come with, it depends how you trying to do it. Either way it's trying to be solvent or solventless. You could use heat, pressure, and you really breaking down the keef. So like when you crushing up your bud and you got the little keef in the bottom and stuff like that.
That's the shit?
Yeah.
Nah, that's the shit that it collects when you got grinders. The shit on the last layer of the grinder.
Or when you breaking up butter on your hands, the stuff that's on your hands still? Yeah, shit like that.
Keef.
Yeah, the keef. You compress all of that, you heat it up, you press it, and then it just really starts getting compacted, and then from that you melt it more, and then change into the oil.
So that's the same thing
That's like vaping.
with the dab and the
that's
glass and
They all got their different variations, all different sorts of concentrates, but that's concentrates as a whole.
yo, I ain't going front, right?
Okay.
They got the crumb.
The crumbs and the diamonds.
That shit
shit
look like work, bro. That's what it got.
that should be looking crazy. I ain't gonna lie, even for me in the
Yeah.
cannabis industry, they
I
talk
be
about
seeing
the
it. I be like,
diamonds. Word, like even like the distillate, I got some distillate that's like the purest form of cannabis. I'm like, that shit looking like powder. Like,
yeah.
like, that shit just came in the mail. Like,
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's
That should be crazy.
Yeah, so
You got any plants ready right now?
Nah. I kind of, took a step back on the growing. So, I'm just teaching everybody how to grow right now. I'm just passing out education.
how you feel about gravel? Like, cause like me personally.
Yeah, what's up with gravel?
Yeah, I was incarcerated. We know.
Nah.
Gravel.
Y'all ain't know about gravel?
Nah.
Yo, bro, these is two dudes that don't.
But y'all don't smoke.
Oh yeah, we don't smoke too.
Right.
That's
That's
We still be around people.
Before we went to the page, y'all was messing with gravel before.
I ain't gonna front. I got introduced to that at school, bro.
I was bringing gravel from uptown.
Maybe.
But like this is before you came though. Like when I first
What
got
I'm
there,
used to,
it was
people
Dutchess.
smoking is the paper and the frontal leaf.
Yeah,
Ripping
right.
a piece over the frontal leaf,
Yeah.
having a pocket full of frontal leaf.
What is?
No money.
What is the
Just
gravel
fucked
coming
it.
to play?
So I feel like that shit really started uptown Bronx, where we drying the gravel and we drying the frontal leaf, and then you turn it into gravel.
Yeah, because
I've seen
basic.
a person do that. They burnt the leaf,
Right.
like because they ain't have no gravel, so they just burnt the leaf and then they.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, but you know when that Fonte leaf used to get too hard, pause, crushing it.
Right.
With the
Like,
weed.
Gravel, right?
Yeah,
That's
gravel.
basically grabbing. Then after that, next thing you know, I see it in packages and
they
Can you
make
grow
it
hot
crazy.
grabber
You can
and-
grow Fonte
In New York, in this
it's
climate,
tobacco. So you can grow tobacco.
Oh, so y'all smoke the tobacco on with your weed?
you might as well put a bogey
That's
in there.
tobacco.
Sprinkle a
Nah.
little Newport.
break it down for the cigarette smokers over here.
You feel me? There's a whole different. You just smoking whatever. The cigarette got all of them different type of rat poison,
My
all the
fault,
different
bro.
type of chemicals and things of that. But like
You was 8 or
you
18.
know-
Oh, all right.
Oh, what you did? You
Nah,
really
I
smoking
ain't
bogus?
gonna front. I was bad. I was kind of a bad kid. So it was
We
like,
all bad kids, but
Yeah, they try to,
I smoked the bogus when I was like 8, 9.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was crazy, bro.
Try to make me do it.
Oh,
I'm
man,
the older
that
cousin. He
was-
tried to make me do it.
Like, yo, bro, smoke this, huh?
Nah, I ain't gonna front. My cousin Earth was smoking shit. So I used to, you know what I mean? But
I ain't gonna front. I used to see my uncle. He used to have the pack backwards and shit. I just used to post up in the mirror with the blunt. Sometimes might light it, but not. But it's like that's just what it was. It's always around me. I'm seeing that shit, and then I'm seeing how my uncle moving with it. So I'm just on timing.
yeah, okay.
All right, let's get to some healthy stuff.
Talk to me.
With you be growing onions and peppers and all that.
Yeah, I've been growing a lot of vegetables. Last year, yeah. Fruit. I did some peaches and I did some.
You did peaches?
Yeah, I did peaches. I had the peach tree and I did some
That's
tangerines.
fire.
So really just having the trees and then just.
What's the easiest fruit to grow?
What's the easiest fruit to grow? Tomatoes.
You vegan?
No.
Nah.
So
you don't eat red meat though.
Nah.
Yeah,
So-
so bad man.
Pork, none of that.
so how was it like?
I still eat pork chops and all types of shit.
Still got the 6-pack. Still got the 6-pack. Yo, how was it for you? Like adjusting to like you was basically like you said you slept in a tent and like what was the mindset you had to have to like basically see and stick the whole operation through? Like was there times where like you was ready to come back and give up or fuck this shit or like cause one of your pictures it looked like you was eating dirt, bro. So like
I don't need 5-star meals. You better stop playing. I was on my own joint.
yeah,
Like you thought you was Tarzan or something.
yeah, bro.
I keep it gangster with you. It was to the point where like I'm so in deep like into the streets. I'll be honest with you, like I got too materialistic. You feel me? I'm so attached to the clothes. I'm so attached to the fresh shoes. I'm so attached to the fly cars and shit like that. I'm like, nah, this shit like I'm fake about to crash out like gangster. Like I'm just keeping it real with y'all. And I'm like, nah, some shit just gotta change. Like I'm seeing how like things is going on with the family and shit like that. It's just not the same energy. And I'm like, oh nah, this shit me. Like
Right.
I'm the issue. So with that mindset, it's like I just see it as a healing mindset. You know, I'm purging myself. You know, when I'm in that tent, you know, I gotta build my relationship with God. You feel me? When
it's like a spiritual.
Yeah, when it's
hiatus
raining,
for you.
it's cold. You know, I can't go inside. You know, I can't go depend on nobody. So it's like I really just gotta take care of myself. I gotta depend on myself.
I should like being in the coop.
Bro, like, bro, man, like I don't want to compare it. I don't want to compare it, but it's like
box is treacherous. Believe it's right. The box is treacherous.
That's easy. You said it gonna be cold. You just gotta get
front, bro. I was in the box in New Mexico. My nigga, I wanted to scream. Man.
Like it's. I'm saying on the mental side.
Oh yeah, mentally.
You gotta really, you really gotta get yourself through that shit yourself.
If you ain't got a book in the box, you twisted, bro.
I'm gonna imagine.
Yo, but the key thing I got from what you just said is accountability. Like
right.
A lot of people don't take accountability for their action. You know how you said like you was too materialistic,
right?
Or like, oh, you said you was the problem.
Yeah,
like that was key. So that's growth. That's growth.
Like gangster, because like I said, like you know, I'm the one doing these actions. You know, I'm like I said, I'm raised in Tuckahoe, so I ain't have to choose the streets.
Yeah.
But I decided to. It was choices I made based off of my circumstances and based off of how I felt I should be conducting myself. But every action got a reaction, and this just so happened to be my reaction. You know. So before like it went all the way downhill, I just had to take it at adjustment, be accountable, and pivot, and fully pivot. You know, start from the ground up, really build and destroy myself from the ground roots. You know, I'm doing everything, learning how to grow my own food, to building up other barns and shit. So I'm learning how to deal with carpentry. I'm learning about dealing with cattle and all of that extra stuff. So it was really just getting my mind right. You know, breaking all different boundaries. I'm in the middle of Georgia. I'm around all of these redneck niggas, and it's like, yo, what's going on? You know, I stick out like a sore thumb. I'm from New York. I got the New York tags with the dog, with the big dog.
Right.
Next to the pit, you not missing.
Oh, you acting crazy.
You had a lion for real.
You feel me? Niggas not missing, but that's the security guard. You know,
yeah, that's
they
can't course,
right? So it was like, you know, I'm dealing with that, but I'm gonna always be me. So I'm conducting myself the sturdy way. So it don't matter where I'm at, everything is situated.
Right.
You feel me?
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know, like, as far as like how you mentioned the clothes, like we not really like buying the like the clothes is just clothes. Like we really buying the name. So it's like we could hit our vendor up and get the same material sweater as Balenciaga. Right. We'll sell it for like $50, $60. They gonna sell it for $800.
Right.
We not really buying the material. We buying the name. So it's like, so you people out there who's materialistic, man, y'all don't need that, man.
And that right there, you said it right there. Like, you know, I was investing myself in other people's last names. You know, Balenciaga, Gucci, all of these things is somebody's last name, and I'm like, but my family not eating. You know, I'm not looking out for my family. I'm just splurging and exhausting all of my funds on somebody else. Nah, you know, some shit got to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, when you put it in that perspective, you know, it takes sacrifice to be able to see that through.
For sure.
Yeah, because you know how we grew up. We grew up seeing the fancy clothes,
yeah.
the jewelry, the cars. So like that's what we do. Like yeah, I mean I know like where we from, like from being from Oak Tree, Manhattan Ave, and Maple Beach. You know, like we grew up. Some of our older dudes, they was hustling. Some of them was getting too. So like, damn, like okay, we want to do that too. So it's like it takes growth to understand like, you don't need to be dressed a certain way to feel like this Gucci shirt should make you feel like you're the greatest guy on this earth. The knowledge that you got and how you conduct and carry yourself should make you feel good.
Exactly.
Instead of some materialistic stuff. So yeah, that takes growth. Okay?
Yeah, and even like, you know, I'm seeing role models like my pops changing all his ways and stuff like that. Like, you know, not really wearing no more fly shit, just calm, you know, regular polos, Levi jeans. I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know, like, what you mean? No, we ain't spending today or what? Like, we ain't shopping today?
Right.
So it was like everything just started, you know, changing different things. And, you know, shout out to my mom. My mom's is heavy in the corporate world, so financial literacy was a big thing that I got exposed to.
Oh, okay.
You know, so I'm just mixing in the financial literacy with, you know, the hustling street conduct and just mixing and matching with that.
Okay.
Fire.
That's fire, man. That's fire. So, you mentioned your financial literacy and your business that you got with the cannabis, like, is there a way like you could like start your own like course or class, like just combining them two? Like,
Well, yeah, definitely. I did prior to getting on with this organization, I was developing refillology, which is actually people down the fundamentals to the whole entire vertically integrated cannabis. So with that, you know, I'm teaching people how to grow. I'm teaching people how to manufacture and how to process. So like I said, even working with CWI, I'm doing things that I've been doing before CWI.
Yeah, fire. So you ain't getting no merch for your stuff in that?
Well, with the refill merch?
Yeah,
I had shirts.
Oh,
okay,
so you was already doing that?
Yeah, I was already doing that. I had the sweatsuit.
You covering on angles. Where's my sweatsuit at though?
What? You wasn't here.
Oh,
You wasn't here. And then when they came out, you know, came late. But what happened when you got the sweatsuits?
you got a sweatsuit.
Of course, I'm wearing it right now.
You
I
support
support
it.
Facts.
Everyone's gonna support it.
You know, shout out to GBA, man. Grind, build, achieve. You know where it started at, man.
Sure, for sure, man. But yeah, though, bro, man, it was a pleasure having you, man. We thank you for blessing the sturdy table.
And you know, we just sparring. You know, this is regular for
This
us.
is regular.
You know what I
This is
mean?
iron sharpening iron.
Yeah, bro. I mean,
I appreciate y'all bringing
Sturdy
me on.
Way TV,
You know, it is.
episode
Nice meeting you,
2.
bro. Always a
Sturdy Way,
pleasure,
no way.
G.
You know, yeah, man.
Thank you for having me. It was an honor.
Anytime,
So,
bro.